Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host, Doug, here with your sports video blog for January 27, 2014. We have reached Super Bowl week. We're going to have a lot of Super Bowl week stuff going on this week as well for you. We'll be talking a lot about that throughout the week. We'll also have my New York sports update for you later on in the show as we run down through pretty much all New York sports. But right now I want to start off by talking about the Pro Bowl. I think the Pro Bowl last night was exciting. Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders going toe-to-toe. Jerry Rice's team comes out on top 22-21 behind Alex Smith, who played very well and made the big pass to DeMarco Murray late to score. I like the rules modifications, breaking it down so there's a 2-minute warning each quarter. Just makes it a little bit more exciting. The possession changes at the end of each quarter make it exciting as well. Make it feel like there's four fourth quarters, basically, and teams have to make a move late in the game. The game was just better quality with the draft. You had younger players going at it, players from the same team hitting each other hard. We saw Derek Johnson, and we saw Jamal Charles going at it. We saw a couple of the Cleveland Brown guys going at it. It was an exciting game, but really if I had to look at some further changes that I'd like to be made, I would like the game to be somewhat condensed. I saw some of it as a running clock, but I'd like to basically see it either go to 10 4 10-minute quarters, or even cut it down to the point of just having a running clock during the 15-minute quarters as well. I think it'd be better. Definitely a more watchable product, definitely what the NFL was looking for, and I'd look for that game to get more exciting as the years go on, as people see how they want it to be played now. I guess we'll see if they keep the same two guys as the drafters for next year, if they'll bring in two other guys, which I think would be an interesting take as well. So that will be something to watch as we go forward. But ultimately, I give the Pro Bowl a big-time thumbs up. They really found out what needed to be done, and they fixed it, and it was exciting. All right, to kick off our Super Bowl week coverage, I want to talk about the commissioner of the NFL here on Doug's Sports Blog and Grill. The commissioner spoke today on Mike and Mike. He talked about the weather and how he doesn't think the weather's going to affect the game. He said there's a lot of contingency plans in place, and ultimately, I don't think they always have contingency plans ready. You don't expect bad weather. In New York, I think you have to. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the weather. I think it will play a factor for sure with both teams. If there's wind, Manning could struggle to throw the ball, but if it's just cold, I think both teams will be able to adapt and overcome and be okay. The key thing I'm looking at is the wind in this game. If there's no wind, if it's low wind, and there's snow, it'll be okay. Manning will find a way to get it done. The wind is what affects him the most. But really, even with the wind, I don't know if it'll affect him as much as it will Wilson. Wilson has been known to throw the ball down the field more. Manning this year has thrown the ball 8 to 12 yards a lot and got a lot of completions. So that's going to be something to look at there with the weather not playing as much of a factor as I think people think it will. I think it'll play more of a factor on the attendance than anything else. The other thing, another topic the commissioner touched on were concussions. They talked about the concussion lawsuit that's being finalized right now in court. Really, Roger Goodell didn't say a whole lot about it. He kind of avoided the topic. He kind of shifted that, which I like what he did. He shifted it and talked more about the Heads Up program that he's got going and how that is going to help the NFL as well. So I like the light that's being shined on the concussions. They're not denying it. They're focusing in on it and trying to just look at the positive side of what they're doing rather than the negative side of all the concussions. And finally, the topic he talked about was playoff expansion. He's talking about expanding to one more team. I don't think it'd be a bad thing. I think it'd be okay. You just have to watch what you're doing if you're making the ultimate product good or bad. But the NFL, honestly, can pretty much get away with whatever they want to. Another game will give them more ratings, more money, and we'll see what happens. But it's going to be exciting to see if the NFL expands their playoffs, how they do expand it. All right, time for my New York sports update. Quickly, if you didn't see the Knicks game on Friday, Carmelo Anthony scored 62 points, shot the ball well, 23 of 35 from the field. Then yesterday he followed that up with a win over the Lakers. He scored 35 in that one. Knicks rolling along right now, getting some good production from Carmelo. Next up, they have the Celtics at home on Wednesday. That's going to be a pretty good game, so check that one out. And other NBA action, the Nets, after their win in Boston yesterday, they come home to take on the Raptors tonight. New York Yankees update the race for the closer in Yankee camp. Rivera has backed David Robertson. I think going into spring training, Robertson has the edge. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this. Ultimately, I think Robertson will be the closer on opening day, but we might see some moves for sure. It'll be interesting to see what they do, and we'll get a look at it going down the stretch as well. All right, the AP poll is not out. I'm looking on Twitter right now to see if there's any update on the AP poll. Ultimately, Arizona won, Syracuse won. Michigan State and Villanova both lost this past week, so I think we're going to have our 3 unbeatens at the top. We're going to have Arizona and Syracuse at Arizona at 20-0, Syracuse at 19-0, Wichita State at 20-0, and then really I think from there Michigan State might stay at number 4. I mean, it's hard for me to drop Michigan State. They have Payne out, they have Dawson out, but they're still a very good team, so I dropped them to 4, and my top 5 I'd round that out with Florida. All right, Cuse, next game at Wake on Wednesday. Tune in for that one to ESPN3.com. That will be at 9 o'clock. I'll have a Syracuse-Wake preview on Wednesday. We'll also have more coverage from Super Bowl week, and I'll give you my top 3 NBA MVP candidates as we head towards the All-Star break right now. The blog has been going great this past week. Views have been up big time. We got up to 45 views last week. That's a good view week for sure. Looking to expand it. Anybody has ideas, I'm not taking this lightly. Come at me. Let me know what you think I should be doing with the blog. I want to expand it to a more permanent platform where I can really get deeper into stuff and not just run through a quick 10-minute video here with you. So the blog views are up. Blog expansion is up for debate. If you have any questions you want me to talk about on the show, put them on my Facebook page, put them on my Twitter, put them on my YouTube channel as well. My Twitter handle is YankeeBaller415. That's YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Wednesday. Have a good day and enjoy your first start to Super Bowl week right now.